Hello, welcome. My name is Melayna, and tonight I'm going to be guiding us through a bit of loving kindness practice. But before we get started, there's a couple of things kind of about loving kindness, a little bit of background for you. Loving kindness is considered one of the four heart practices, or one of the Brahma-viharas, sometimes called the four immeasurable minds. And these things are immeasurable because it's limitless. You can practice them ad infinitum. They will always be of benefit to you. The four practices are compassion, appreciative joy, equanimity, and loving kindness. Now, these practices, they are rooted in a spirit of generosity. In compassion, we are generous with our understanding. In equanimity, we are generous with our patience. In appreciative joy, we are generous with our gratitude, appreciating things as they are. And with loving kindness, we're generous with our kindness, the idea of giving kindness without hoping to receive anything in return. Now, let's see. Loving kindness is specifically having thoughts free of ill will, wishing for all beings to be happy, healthy, and free from suffering. It is not conditional. It is without expectation. It's not only is it something we offer to people we like, but people we perhaps don't like so much. But in offering that loving kindness to everyone without condition, we can liberate ourselves from expectation, from things as thinking of people ought to be a certain way. And because that love is unconditional and universal, it liberates us from anger, ignorance, and greed, which are, of course, the cause of suffering. As according to the second noble truth. So if you're not unfamiliar with the four noble truths, the first one is that there is dukkha, there is suffering. The second one is that there is a cause to suffering, and that suffering is rooted in craving and desire, which we see in our lives as anger, ignorance, and greed, which are the three fires. But yeah, before we get settled into meditation today, does anyone have their own definition of loving kindness? No? Not so much? All right. But I guess I'll continue. So loving kindness has two parts. There's the loving part and there's the kindness part. Love, as we know, is, or maybe we don't know, is basically it's non-attachment. So people are like, how is non-attachment love? Well, it is giving love, giving space for people without expectation, without condition, which is something I've been repeating. But when we do this practice, it gives us a greater sense of peace and allows us to suffer less. So with that, I'll go ahead and get us into meditation portion of the meeting. Is there anyone who's brand new to meditation or brand new to the Dharma Bum Temple? Welcome. This meditation will be a guided meditation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be speaking throughout, giving you kind of guidelines for visualization or whatever you'd like to do. We're going to go through four parts. And in this, we're going to say, we're going to give loving kindness to ourselves. We're going to give it to someone we like, someone we don't like, someone who's kind of neutral, and then we're going to kind of expand to everyone, because all beings deserve loving kindness. So in terms of posture, don't hit your head on the shrine. That is rule number one. Secondly is going to be, I recommend sitting up straight. Like if you want to sit on a cushion, kind of sit to the front third of the cushion, keep yourself erect. I like to imagine that there's a string kind of holding up the back of my head to keep my spine straight. and it can lean forward a little bit, and this opens up the diaphragm, helps you breathe a little bit more. If you're sitting in a chair, I recommend be flat on the floor. Try not to lean too far into the back of the chair, but do whatever's comfortable. If you're sitting up straight and you hurt, go ahead and lean back. This is about comfort. It's about kindness. It's about being gentle with ourselves. So with that, I will sort of lead us into the meditation. So I will start with 3 invitations of the bell, and I will finish with 3 invitations of the bell, and then we'll go from there. Settle into a comfortable but attentive position. Allow your back to be straight, but not rigid or stiff. Feel your head balanced on your shoulders. Allow your face and jaw to relax. With arms and hands resting in a comfortable position. Your eyes may be closed or gently open. Be attentive to what's happening within your awareness, right here and right now, without judgment. As you sit, notice the sensation of breath. Pay attention for a moment to how your abdomen moves on each in-breath and out-breath. The movement of air through your nostrils and the slight movement of your chest and shoulders. You may notice your attention wandering away from the breath from time to time. This is perfectly normal. When you notice your mind has wandered, try to meet it with a spirit of friendliness. Rather than forcing anything, gently invite yourself to become curious about what it's like to be breathing right now. With practice, you'll find your attention naturally comes back to the physical sensations of breath as it moves through your body. Now, begin offering loving kindness to yourself. We start with expressing love to ourselves because without loving ourselves, it is almost impossible to love others. Breathe gently and repeat silently to yourself the following phrases. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. As you repeat these phrases, picture yourself receiving them. If that is difficult, it may be helpful to picture yourself as a child receiving this love. If feelings arise that are contrary to loving kindness, such as irritation, anger, or doubt, be patient with yourself, allowing these feelings to be received in a spirit of kindness and then simply return to the phrases. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Now, bring to mind someone who has benefited you or been especially kind to you. This may be a loved one, a friend, a teacher, or mentor. As this person comes to mind, tune into your natural desire to see this person happy, free from suffering, and at ease with life. Begin to offer this person the same phrases of loving kindness and care. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Now, let this person go. Bring to mind a neutral person. This may be someone you see regularly but don't know very well, or maybe somebody who works somewhere you go a lot. a coworker, a person you've seen at meetings, or maybe a neighbor. Although you don't know this person well, you can recognize that just as you wish to be happy, this person wants to be happy as well. You don't need to know what their happiness looks like. Again, offer this person the phrases of loving kindness. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Letting this neutral person go. Think of somebody whom you find difficult, or toward whom you feel resentment, hurt, or jealousy. You may not want to pick the most difficult person in your life. Instead, choose someone who is currently irritating or annoying you. Again, offer the phrases of loving kindness, being aware that just as you wish to be happy and free from harm, so do even the most difficult or troublesome people. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. letting this difficult person go. Try to expand your well wishes as wide as you can imagine to your family, your friends, your community, to all beings on earth. Notice the immense depth of your own heart as you offer these phrases. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings live with ease. Letting go of all thoughts of others, return your focus to your own body, mind, and heart. Notice any discomfort, tension, or difficulty you are experiencing. Notice if you are experiencing any new lightness, warmth, relaxation, or joy. Then whenever you are ready, allow your eyes to open and gently return your attention to the space around you. All right. Not exactly the easiest practice. Like most things I find in terms of Buddhism, it's a very simple practice, but it's not easy. Before we move forward, I'm just going to share a little bit about how loving kindness has affected me personally. I came into the temple through the recovery program, and on Monday nights, the only meditation we do is loving kindness. And at first, I was like, why should I waste my time sending out my energy to all these other people in the world? Like, no one's sending me kindness, right? But The thing is that any anger or hatred or resentment that you're harboring towards other people, that doesn't hurt them. It only hurts you. So that is why when we practice loving kindness, it's as much for ourselves as it is for other people. And in learning that, I learned to not only first you learn to be gentle with yourself, which is something that a lot of us have a hard time with. I know I do. And then to be gentle with other people, regardless of what they do, how they act, how they behave, because the way you treat others only really hurts you. But yeah, then that's why the meditation, the loving kindness practice is so important and why it's so powerful. I was listening to a podcast today, and they said that when you practice loving kindness, you have to be like the earth. The earth takes everything in. It takes whatever we throw at it, whether it's crude oil, our trash, our garbage, our goodness, our evil. The earth takes everything, and it transforms it into something else. Transforms it into trees or lava, volcanoes, whatever it is, tidal waves. It takes all that and transforms it into something else. And that's what we can do with our anger, our ignorance, and greed, is to take it and transform it into that loving kindness, that equanimity, the compassion, and send that out to the world. But yeah, I mean, how's everybody feeling? Are we feeling good? Kind of. So with that, I'll just, if anyone wants to share about their experience with the meditation, or if you have any questions regarding the loving kindness meditation or Buddhism, whatever you'd like. Or you can just sit with it for a moment.
So when you're practicing the loving kindness meditation, it's interesting because I can almost feel it in my heart space, but not quite. It felt much more like cerebral, like I was repeating the phrase, but I don't know if I actually felt like I was exuding loving kindness. Does that make sense?
Yes. So yeah, for those listening at home, my question is around feeling the practice in your heart or feeling the practice in your mind. I'm getting that correct.
Yeah.
So hopefully someone will correct me if I'm wrong here, but I know that in, I believe it's Chinese, the character for heart and mind is the same. So those two things are inextricably connected. And so when we practice loving kindness, you don't want to just practice with your intellect, and you don't want to just practice with your heart. You want to practice with everything, with your whole being. And that's why in practice we use wisdom and compassion, right? Right behind me we have compassion. This is Guan Yin, Bodhisattva, compassion, hearer of the world's cries. And over here we have Manjushri, Bodhisattva of wisdom. And then we have, just for honorable mention, Samantabhadra for diligence and great practice. Now, wisdom and compassion are what informs what should inform all of your actions. So when we talk about the Eightfold Path, we have right speech, right action, intention, understanding, concentration, mindfulness, livelihood, and effort, right? And in order for things to be right or wise, as they say, we use wisdom and compassion to determine that. So if you're feeling it here and you're not feeling it here, you're doing a pretty good job, I think. So giving kindness unconditionally, I know it can be very difficult for a lot of people. You ever heard the phrase, they're nice but not kind? or kind but not nice. The sort of like thing, they kind of say it with like East Coast, West Coast thing, but we won't get into that. This is not the place. We're about unity here. And so, we are often kind to people with the expectation that they're going to be kind to us, or they're going to give us something, or our kindness will be rewarded in some way. And in this practice, there's no punishment or reward. It is our own peace that we get. It is the liberation from anger, ignorance, and greed, or liberation from our own suffering. Because we are the ones that perpetuate our own suffering. We tell the stories over and over again. You've been angry at someone, and then you can constantly think of, all right, how am I going to get revenge? How am I going to get to them? I can't believe they did this over and over and over and over and over again. And it eats you alive inside. But if you send that person compassion, and you send them loving kindness, and you send them universal love, you don't have to feel that anymore. Because when you feel that anger, when you feel that hatred, it only hurts you. There's a quote, I don't remember who said it, I don't want to attribute it to the wrong person, but they say that you are not punished for your anger, you are punished by it. And so when we kind of stop trying to control things, stop trying to expect things, then we can kind of release that anger and find a little more peace in our day-to-day and suffer a little less today than we did yesterday. Let's see. I know that so yeah, that's not where I'm at. So loving kindness, a lot of people just call it love, like a universal love or boundless, limitless love for every creature, every being, every living thing on the planet. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we don't have boundaries around those people or around those things. You know, you can send love to somebody from a distance. You don't have to have lunch with them every day. You can just say, hey, like, you may not appreciate the things they do, the way they treat you, but you can still treat them gently and with kindness when you have to see them, when you have to be around them, but you don't have to be around them. I just want to like make that clear. It's kind of like, you can see a tiger like in the wild, and you can like be like, oh, I appreciate that tiger, but don't go pet the tiger because the tiger will probably maul you. But I guess that's a great analogy. I don't know. But yeah, also for anyone watching at home, if you have a question, feel free to type it in the chat. I will definitely get it and look at it from there. Let's see. What else do we got here? I used to think that kindness made me weak. Like I needed to put on this like really tough exterior to be safe, to kind of put up these walls. And what that ended up doing was like closing off my heart. And it didn't allow anyone to come in, and it didn't allow anything out. So I got to hold on to all my pain and all my emotions. And I did not have any connection with anyone else. And one of the benefits of the loving kindness practice is that you start to realize that every single being on this planet wants to be happy, healthy, safe, and at peace. And it sort of reveals our interconnectedness. In Buddhist practice, we have a concept called dependent origination. And essentially it's, I exist, therefore you exist, and you exist because I exist, and back and forth kind of thing. Because we are all conditioned beings. We are You know what the odds are of your own existence? Does anyone know? It's a biological statistic. The odds of you, actually, your individual self being here right now. It's 1 in about like 390 something trillion. We'll say 400 trillion. Those are the odds of your individual existence. And it's pretty miraculous. And all the things that had to happen for you to come into existence, you can't replicate it. It's actually miraculous that you exist, because your parents had to meet, and their parents had to meet, and their parents' parents had to meet, and like a bunch of chemicals like billions of years ago had to come together and form like a planet with oxygen on it. Like, it's pretty intense and incredible. And realizing that we all come from these like inextricably linked events that lead us to this moment right now, where we are presently. You kind of realize that we're all interconnected and we're all together. And so we should show love for people, because no matter what we're doing, no matter where we come from, no matter what we've done, we all deserve that love, because that is what we would want if we were coming from a place of suffering and doing things that were unskillful. I have a question here. Is it wrong to only want to send kindness to my loved ones? I don't think it's wrong necessarily. I think that it is definitely more difficult to want to send loving kindness to others. But I think that's why the practice is necessary, and that's why it has such benefit, because as you practice, you realize it expands your ability to love others, right? So it's easy to love the ones closer to us, but it is let me pause for a second. So once we start to send love out, it opens our heart and allows us to see other people as more connected to us as well. So I know in my view, this is just my personal view, I kind of view everyone, all of humanity, as but my loved ones. I like to send loving kindness to everyone, because I know that all of us are kind of in this together, and I see us as kind of a unified front. We're all human beings. We're all here. We're all suffering. We all experience pain. We all get hungry. We all cry. We all get old. We all die. And we should send love to those people, whether or not we know them or not. So I think that's my answer for that. Hopefully that helps. Any other questions? Yeah, we're all just kind of hanging out. I find that loving kindness often helps a lot when I'm by myself. So, I recently was in a situation where I had to deal with something that was very difficult for me, and none of the people I normally depend on were close to me or nearby. But knowing that I had them in my life overall, like they weren't here in this moment, but I could still feel that we were connected, was helpful in the situation. So with the meditation, what would we say is the most difficult part? Was it the irritating person, the annoying person? Yeah. overall. Sometimes I have trouble with the neutral person. It's like, it's like, okay, I can focus on this person that I have at least some emotion towards, like anger, hatred, whatever. But the grocery store clerk that I'm totally indifferent to is like, oh, how am I supposed to send love to this guy? He bagged my burrito weird. Like, what's going on? But yeah, and then we can practice love in a lot of ways in our life. I know a lot of people, when they think of love, they think of romantic love. Like, I know that's probably the basis for things. At least people, when they first think of love, they think, romance and a partner and things like that. But that love has so much like craving and desire attached to it. So removing that from it and just kind of treating loving kindness as a spirit of friendliness towards everyone is, it kind of liberates you from that craving, from that desire. That's, yeah. Anyone have anything they would like to share about the meditation? No. All right, well, let's see. I was super worried that there was going to be like a ton of people here tonight. And now I'm a little bit worried about the opposite.
Is this your first time?
Yes.
Oh, we must have missed that. You're doing great.
Thanks. But yeah, I don't mind talking to a few empty chairs. They deserve some loving kindness too.
They're good. They're good. They're all good.
Yeah, they're nice chairs. Yeah, we got a bit more time here. Let's see. How often do I recommend practicing loving kindness meditation? As often as you like. Meditation is a personal practice, and so when we practice, how often we practice, that's going to be determined by yourself. I practice lots of different types of meditation. I don't necessarily sit every day, but I do do some form of mindfulness every day. So whether that's, washing the dishes or yoga or some other practice. In terms of like a specific type of meditation, I mean, that's really more of a personal decision. If you feel like you're struggling with, I usually do loving kindness when I'm struggling with an emotion towards someone. Usually it's anger for something that is, more challenging, like somebody who cut me off in traffic, or something unfortunate, like, it rarely is it's not usually about large life events that are distressing. It's usually like, someone cuts you off in traffic, somebody parked in your spot, somebody took the pack of strawberries you were looking at the grocery store. And in day to day, I try to put loving kindness into practice. The meditation is really more of a tool, I would say, to put loving kindness into effect every day, all the time, as much as possible. So when I notice that I'm meeting things from a place of anger, I try to meet that with loving kindness. And if I have the time to sit, if I have the time to practice, then I will do that. But it's really more about trying to incorporate the loving kindness into your life overall. So I guess I would recommend as often as you like and as infrequently as you desire. I guess my answer to that. Yes.
When it comes to practicing, obviously there's the meditation part, but there's the action that needs to take place. So, what helped you do, like, partake in more action of loving kindness, like, and, transfer from just the thought, but to like actions? Because most of the time it's going to come by thought first. Like, you have to really like calm yourself down before you start yelling at the person that cut you
Yes,
off.
always take time.
So, but like, what kind of actions could be taken place to get to the point where you don't even think about it?
Sure. For those listening at home, the question is around what actions do you need to take to incorporate loving kindness into your life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Good. Thank you. Compare. What I try to do is first take a breath, take some space, take some time. If you need to put physical space in there, do that if you can. And then kind of remember that we're all suffering in our own ways. Everyone you meet every day is fighting some private battle in their head that you have no idea about. And maybe they're not paying attention. Maybe there's lots of reasons why they would do something that would inadvertently harm you, steal, lie, all these things. And I just try to have a little empathy and imagine where I would have to be behaving in that way. I spent a lot of years suffering from addiction, and in order to forgive myself for the things I had personally done, I had to acknowledge the incredibly great amount of suffering that I was in, and the incredible amount of pain that I was in to be behaving in that way. A way that now, looking back, I would never, I couldn't even go out and do that right now. And so when I look at things people do, I know they're coming from a place of fear, a place of suffering, and a place of great pain. And it evokes compassion in me, and that is how I can say, okay, I can be gentle with this person. I can take I don't necessarily have to, if they're going to harm me or others, I don't have to be in the same space as them, but I can treat them with gentleness and I can treat them with kindness. And then I can go home and sleep at night knowing that I did the best I could with the situation. We can't control or change what other people are going to do. Unfortunately, it would be, I guess it would be cool. I think it would be really boring if everyone did what we expected all the time. It's nice. Sometimes surprises are good. But obviously, and then you also have to forgive yourself when you're not kind, because we can't always be perfect. We're not perfect. We weren't made to be perfect. And we just have to do the best we can every day. And so, compassion is really the first thing, is to have compassion and empathy for others. Try to give them understanding. I try to put myself in other people's shoes and kind of imagine what that would be like. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that under certain circumstances I would behave any better. I just know that I try to create a space where I'm going to act from a place of kindness. So does that answer your question? Mm-hmm. Okay. Good time. Mm-hmm. Before we close tonight, I'd just like to say one last thing, which is that this is loving kindness practice. This isn't loving kindness perfection. This isn't you do it one time and you're suddenly healed and you're going to walk out of here and you're going to, everything's going to be sunshine and butterflies and you're going to be kind to everyone you meet. It's a practice because it's something we work on. It's something we do every day. And it's something we do in perpetuity for as long as we inhabit these bodies in this lifetime. Maybe the next one, I don't know, they got that. There might be a next one, I don't know. But it's okay. So it's okay to make mistakes every once in a while, maybe not act so kind, but as long as we're aware of it, as long as we observe it, and as long as we take the time and patience with ourselves and others, I think it's gonna be okay.
Some people deserve
it. Yeah. I think. I don't know. But yeah. Oh, thank you for being here. So with that, I will go ahead and close. If you're comfortable, please bring your hands to heart center. We dedicate this practice to all beings in all directions. May they be safe. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they meet change with equanimity. And may they live with ease. Before you all head out today, a couple announcements. We have the Zen Garden dedication on June 14th. There's more information about that above the shoe rack. Also on July 19th, the temple will be walking in this year's Pride Parade. So if you want to be a part of that, you can RSVP on the website. Additionally, the Monday after, we will be the park cleanup, which is when they desperately need volunteers. Dharma Bum Temple has said they will be there until there is no more Dharma Bum Temple. And it's probably like my favorite thing ever. I did it last year and it was like the greatest day of my life. So if you want to volunteer for both those things or either, you can RSVP on the website. And our host, Erica, has an announcement.
Hello, everyone. I'm Erica, and tonight's host. We opened the Dharma Bum Temple 18 years ago to introduce Buddhist practice to those who show up. Those who lead are not nuns, monks, gurus, masters, or teachers, and are not looking for students. They are simply practitioners sharing their interpretation of the practice. Every night we have different classes led by different people from various Buddhist traditions. We have a recovery sangha that meets several times a week for anyone with addiction, and our food redistribution program is every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We have classes and programs every day, and everything we offer here is always free. The full schedule is on our website and also posted in the entryway above the shoe rack. We have a lending library. If you see a book that you like, feel free to borrow it and bring it back whenever you are done with it. Please straighten your seat or your cushion before you head out, and if a few people could stay to close and latch the windows, that would be very helpful. Thank you for being here. We wish you well and hope to see you all again. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to everyone joining us online.